My parents gave every birthday to my sister for 8 years. On my 18th, I finally snapped. I recently turned 18 and finally moved out, starting a new chapter away from my parents. I have a sister who's about 10 years younger, a pregnancy that was unplanned and nearly ended in tragedy. The pregnancy was so dangerous that my mother almost lost her life during childbirth, and afterward, she could never have another child. As a result, my parents became obsessed with my little sister, treating her as if her very existence was a miracle. Meanwhile, I was left as nothing more than an afterthought, the babysitter and the extra kid in the background. It all began on my 11th birthday. My sister was only 2 when she saw a birthday cake that wasn't hers, and she immediately burst into tears. My parents forced me to let her blow out my candles, all in an effort to keep her happy, then relit them for me afterward. This painful ritual became a yearly tradition. On my birthdays, my sister received gifts while I got nothing at all. When I asked why, I was dismissed with, "You're a boy. You don't care about that stuff," as if that explained away everything. As the years passed, my birthdays turned into a secondary celebration for her. Every decision I tried to make for my own day was overridden if it didn't suit her. I was constantly forced into the role of live-in babysitter. I eventually retreated into my room, locking myself away for some much-needed solitude, especially after she once barged in while I wasn't fully dressed. My parents expected me to be grateful for any attention, no matter how little. By the time I was a teenager, I had emotionally checked out. I felt completely disconnected from a family that seemed to celebrate only my sister's needs. They boasted about our family achievements, as if my successes were part of the package, but I was struggling under the weight of neglect and favoritism. I worked hard at school, not out of passion for learning, but simply to escape the relentless overshadowing of my sister's presence. Then came my 18th birthday, a milestone that should have been about celebrating me. I had hoped for a day that reflected my tastes, maybe even a visit to my favorite restaurant. Instead, my parents booked a party at a local knockoff Chuck E. Cheese, a place reserved for my sister's celebrations. I found myself surrounded by toddlers, eating bland pizza, and forced to endure outdated arcade games. When the cake arrived, it was a pink, flowery creation with only 10 candles, a cake clearly not meant for an 18-year-old boy. In a final act of rejection, my parents had my sister blow out the candles, and that was the last straw. In that moment, I broke down in front of everyone. All the years of being overlooked, the pain of having my birthdays hijacked, spilled out in a torrent of tears and angry words. I told everyone exactly how I had been sidelined for 8 long years, how every birthday had been stolen from me. Some family members tried to apologize, claiming they hadn't known, but it was too late. When my father confronted me for making a scene, the entire family quickly turned on him with accusations and disappointment. My grandparents, however, stood by me and admitted that my parents' blatant favoritism had finally taken its toll. After that day, my parents attempted to make amends with a belated birthday graduation party. They brought out a chocolate cake, a banner with my name on it, and even pooled together for a used car. But no celebration could undo the years of neglect. At the new party, my sister again threw a tantrum, screaming and even vandalizing the car with a hammer, shattering windows and cracking the windshield. That final act pushed everything past its breaking point. Eventually, my parents grounded my sister and sent her to boarding school, a decision that, while harsh, admitted their failure. I seized the opportunity to move out, and now I'm living on my own, slowly rebuilding the life I never got to live. I barely speak to my parents, and while the wounds are still fresh, I finally feel free. For the first time in years, my birthday might actually be about me, a day to celebrate who I am, not just the shadow of someone else's celebration.